Okay, let's keep rolling on this thing. I've got my shaft sitting here, my main shaft sitting output side to my left, input side to my right. We're going to want to use some assembly lube putting this together. I'm just going to use some light engine oil, actually, nothing too fancy. We'll throw our, I should put this on a little dish, I guess. Throw our brass synchro ring, a new one preferably. On first. That's nice, isn't it? This is just so we don't start turning gears all dry. Line up these notches with your keys. Get another little layer of assembly lube on the face. Throw your second gear, I believe. Hang on. Yes, second gear. Sorry, I don't have these all memorized. Throw some assembly lube on the face of this thrust surface. Then where it's going to sit into the synchro ring. Now before you did this, you would have inspected things. The gears are in good shape. Like I said, the only gear I'm replacing is third gear. The little, I don't know, notches are a little rounded out from some crazy shifting, I guess. I don't know. But not too bad. Reverse is pretty rounded out, but it can kind of stand to be a little bit before you need to replace that, in my opinion. Alright. Oops. Okay. Very nice. This thrust washer, this has a little keyway in it too. And that'll go in the end, just the very end on the main shaft. There's a keyway in the main shaft. You line it up with that. You can see it there. And then now we're going to press third gear bushing on. It's cold enough here where I'm not going to bother putting the shaft in the freezer. But I do have the bushing on the under a light bulb right now, so that's warming up, and then we'll go to the press and press it on. While I'm waiting for that bushing to warm up, I just want to say thanks. A lot of you guys learned through comments and then my Facebook page that my family and I were sick, but I got several well wishes, and I really do appreciate that. God bless y'all. I love that you guys watch my channel, and I love doing this stuff, and I think that's obvious. And again, I appreciate the well wishes. I really do. All right, working with this thing now. I've got new bushings and stuff. We want to be careful not to ding that stuff up. They're kind of soft, but get your shaft set in there with your press plates, however you can to get them so it sits on there good and solid. Here, there, that'll work. Take it easy at the end. Throw third gear on. I already lubed it up a little bit. Throw your third gear on. This synchronizer ring. I could use just a little more. Okay, and we're going to press our hub. I believe that's third, fourth hub. Third and fourth synchronizer hub. This thrust face against this thrust face. And that'll need to be pressed on. I'll throw a little bit of lube on there. Alright, as you get down close to the end, you need to make sure your brass synchro ring is lining up with your keys there. Otherwise you're going to cause yourself some problems. Got my official piece of John Deere pipe from back in my John Deere ag mechanicking days. Shouldn't be too hard of a press. Something stopped me there. I think my John Deere pipe is a little too small a diameter. Maybe I'll find a Caterpillar pipe from my Caterpillar days. Okay, she's down good and solid, and we still got good movement on third gear, so we're good there. Make sure there's enough room for the snap ring now. Cross my fingers. Perfect. No, I wasn't concerned a bit. Something you don't want to do with any snap ring, and most of you probably know this, is to distort it. A lot of times, if you put too much on it with your snap ring pliers, or you're using too big of a plier, then you can distort it, and you're kind of messed up for the rest of the time. So you only want to open it just as wide as you need to.
Dad, I find a car.
To get it slid over what you need it to slide over. In this case, this spline shoulder.
Dad, I find a car.
You found a car?
Yeah,
well,
right here. It's all muddy.
Oh man, was he in the mud?
Yeah.
You'll have that.
Why is it so icky?
So icky because it was in the mud. Alright, just make sure it's all the way down in the groove and it looks good. And then we'll put our, let me make sure I get the right name for this too. Third to fourth slider. And it's got a smooth taper and then kind of a grooved taper. And let me make sure here. The grooved taper will go towards the input end, so the front. Okay, throw some little bit of lube. This. Okay. Okay. Just kind of leave it in the middle there. just to finish up this main shaft, throw your reverse driven gear on. Oh, by the way, in my first video, I said I would come back with an answer on the springs in this groove. I had said that I took both springs out of this groove, and that's not right. The one spring goes in this groove, and the other spring goes on the back side of the cupped side of this hub. Alright, so you end up with a spring on the back side of the key on this end, and on the back side of the key on this end. Makes a lot more sense. Alright, throw some lube on it. Alright, so your shift collar is going towards the output side. The next up is your first gear. I had somebody ask me if these roll pins are supposed to be sticking out, and yes they are. I'll get you an answer on why that is, because I don't recall right now. But anyway, we'll get that slid on. Oops. That wasn't right. Oh, that's why. That roll pin keeps reverse from going all the way against this gear, just to maintain your shift, the proper shift fork. Alright, now this thrust washer in my kit, there's a stepped thrust washer, and there are some specific instructions on it in my kit, and it said if I'm using their first, second, third gear bushings, I need to use their stepped thrust washer. If you're mixing and matching, you need to do some measuring of your own, so that's something that I would kind of be aware of in each kit. Just make sure you read the instructions really well with that. Alright, we're done with the main shaft. Now we'll move on to the counter shaft. Not going to do a whole lot on the counter shaft because there's not a whole lot to do on it. I'm basically going to replace snap rings. I took this snap ring loose when I didn't need to, so we're going to press this gear off and put that new snap ring on and this new snap ring on here, because we'll have to pull it off anyway. Not much to it, pretty solid piece. So unless you need to change some gears or something on it, then you probably won't even have to touch it. I messed up this snap ring when I was trying to get the counter shaft in the first video to slide into the case and drop down. I thought that I could pull this snap ring and slide this counter gear, but it's pressed on. I should have known that. My bad. Anyway, I need to replace this snap ring. Nothing else is bad, so we're gonna have to press this gear off, pull the outer snap ring, take it to the press the shaft out. I want to keep checking this because my the piece of stock I'm using for the press it on is really close to the size of the splines on the inside diameter of it, and I don't want to drive it onto my splines and not be able to get it back off. Take it clear down to the bottom of that collar, which is against the big snap ring. There we go. I dropped a lot of stuff. Alright, and then this washer will lay on there, and then our next snap ring. Okay, that's it for our counter shaft. Like I said, wouldn't have really had to touch it because my gears are in good shape, but during disassembly I kind of had a brain fade and started to take this this snap ring off, and it's really stout. When I got it off, I tweaked it, so I wanted to get new snap rings on there, which came in my kit. So anyway, that's what all I had to do with the counter shaft, and we'll start on the drive gear now. I think I'm going to end this session here. The drive gear is basically, we put the new oil slinger on, and then we'll pack the new roller bearings in there with the new brass synchro piece, and the rest will be putting it in the case. And actually the drive gear will go into the case, be part of that assembly anyway. So I'm going to end this part with you know, we got our main shaft done, we got the counter shaft done, nothing to do with the reverse idler gear. So the next thing will be starting to put this all back in the case. So yeah, I appreciate you guys watching, appreciate all the good feedback, and I appreciate the constructive criticism feedback. Anyway, hope you enjoy and stay tuned for the rest of the build.